Here is Shapes number 1 lesson for SketchUp. First, you're going to want to open a new SketchUp document. Once you're there, you're going to want to use the Orbit tool to move around the camera angle so that you are seeing the quadrant that the man is standing in. There are 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is the one that he is standing in, so then you'll use the Pan tool to move him over and zoom in or out so that you can have a good view. The first shape we're going to draw is the square. The square is drawn using the rectangular tool and waiting until you see the diagonal line that goes across and the word square. This is how you'll know that it is a perfect square. The second shape is going to be the circle. You'll simply use the circle tool to draw your circle shape. Our third shape is a rectangle, using the rectangle tool again. And then our fourth shape is going to be a triangle. We're going to use the line tool to draw our triangle, being extra careful not to have any blue lines, as they will be lines that go up and down. Once you're done, it should turn gray, indicating that you've connected all the lines completely, and you'll want to check to make sure that they are laying flat at the moment. Our fifth shape, you're going to draw this shape using the line tool. If you draw the lines on the green and red axis, they will be parallel to each other, making it become more of a square shape with no diagonal lines. When you're all done, it should connect completely, turning it gray. The sixth shape is a half circle. You'll use the circle tool again, but then also the line tool to draw a line down the center of the circle, being careful to make sure that it connects completely and goes straight through the center. Then you'll use the erase tool to erase 1/2 of your circle. Our seventh shape is a polygon, which is simply using the polygon shape tool. And then our eighth shape, we're going to use the arc tool. We're going to use the 2-point arc to draw 2 points on our screen and then pull it to make it form an arc, making sure that the arc is not blue going up or down, but green or red. You'll do this again to have the 2 points connect to make the moon-like shape. The ninth tool is going to be the star. You will use the polygon tool first and then shift your camera angle so that you're looking above the polygon to draw the triangles, the points of the star. When you're drawing the triangles, you'll notice that if it is magenta, then it is going straight from the other lines straight out into the triangle. You can check to make sure none of the lines go up or down and all of them turn gray. Then you'll use the push-pull tool. If you don't erase all of the center lines, then part of it will be pulled up, but the rest will stay down. So be sure to erase all of the lines. You'll then count your shapes, making sure that you have 9 of them total. And then we're going to now make them 3D by using the push-pull tool. You can make them any height that you want, but once you make the first one, you're going to make them all that same height. To do that, you're going to pull up on the center, the top of the shape, and pull over to the shape next to it. You'll keep doing this, pull up using the push-pull tool, and then drag your mouse over to the top of the shapes next to it to make them all the same height. You'll do this to all 9 shapes, making them all the same height. Our 10th shape is going to be a shape that you create on your own, where you will use all the tools that we've used for these other shapes. So you'll start out with any of the tools that you want. Here's the square, circle, polygon tool, the 2-point arc tool, the line tool, and then eventually the erase and the push-pull tool. This can look however you would like. You can make it any height that you'd like. It's just using all of the tools that we've used so far. Once you pull the shapes up to make them 3D, then you're going to use the paint bucket tool to make them, to change the textures and the colors on the sides. So this first one, I'm using the siding texture. I'm making sure that I'm getting all of the sides to it. Then I'm moving on to the next shape and texturing it brick, making sure that I get all of the sides on that one. And the third part, I am making concrete. If you zoom in, you're able to see the texture of each of them. Then lastly, you also want to change the roof of each of them, and then you are done. To save the file, you'll click File, Save As. We're going to name it your first and last name, making sure that you capitalize your name, and then Shapes1. So mine would be Amanda Divalbus, Shapes1, and it will save to my Documents folder.